I love Ice Cube. I'm a big hip hop guy.
Oh, man.
Fucking the candle maker will be Ice Cube. And everybody's like, literally everybody goes, there is no way in hell Ice Cube is going to do a Mexican animated movie. And I'm like, well, just get me in the room with him and let me pitch it to him. And maybe he'll say, I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? He says no. He doesn't come to the audition. Dude, Cube was amazing. Amazing.
What was that pitch like?
It was, I had to show him, the candle maker, basically tell him he's basically God. I was like, and he wore sunglasses the whole pitch, and he goes, hold on, I play God? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, I'm in. He goes, that's some Morgan Freeman shit.
You said you were a big hip hop guy, right?
Yeah, huge hip hop man.
No Vaseline is the hardest diss track.
Oh my God.
There was a couple years ago, right? So I grew up, I'm 32. I'll be 30, yeah, 32. So I'll be 33 in August. When I grew up, I grew up to like a mix of R&B, a mix of hip hop, when I really started listening, the first rap song I ever heard was Hail Mary from Tupac Shakur. That was the first one, right? So the bar is already set ridiculously high, right? So I loved the grunge era. I loved Nirvana, the Foo Fighters when they came out, Sublime. I loved hip hop. I loved a whole bunch of, like, now, like, if you look at my Spotify playlist, it is ridiculous. Like, you go from bachata, you go from country, you go from this, you go from that, the hip hop. It's so vast, right? It's like food all over the place. Yeah. My kid asked me, he's like, Dad, and he's, I probably shouldn't have played him this song because I think he's like third grade. But to be fair, I heard Hail Mary about second grade, first grade, somewhere around there, so it was time, right? Times were different back then. I probably shouldn't have played this song. Good thing my wife wasn't there. But he's like, Dad, some of the kids at school, they were talking about Ice Cube because they had watched Are We There Yet? Or something like that. It was one of Ice Cube's family movies.
The family movie.
Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, I know who Ice Cube is. And he was like, well, they said he was a rapper. Is he a rapper? I just thought he was an actor. Like, no. This dude straight fire, bro, as the kids say. And he was like, well, can you play a song? And I'm like, can I play you a song? So I'm scrolling through, because I bought the Death Certificate album. I'm scrolling through, I'm looking, there's no other way we're going to do this to kick off your first Ice Cube song and go straight, no Vaseline. And his first 45 seconds is just him, building up. Here's what they say about you. Here's what they say about you. And fuck all y'all. And then I was like, oh, I really shouldn't play this. And it just keeps going and going and going. He was like, Dad, why do you say that? So I'm hitting pause, right? I feel like I'm a rap historian. I'm hitting pause.
In this moment.
Well, I was like, well, this is what he means when he says this. Yeah. And he's like, well, who's Eazy-E? And I'm like, oh shit, this is Eazy-E. So I play an Eazy-E song. He's like, well, who's Dr. Dre? So I'm playing a Dr. Dre song. He's like, why is Dr. Dre calling out Snoop Dogg? I thought they were friends. I was like, well, this is what happened. So what should have been like a 5 or 6 minute song turned into like a 2 or 3 hour. This is why the East Coast hated the West Coast, and this is why Tupac weren't fans of each other. And so it was crazy getting to see his little mind just go. Right. So we get back from, the little drive and shit like that. And my wife goes, what'd you guys do? And she's like, Dad, let us listen to Ice Cube. I'm like, fuck. She was like, Ice Cube, huh? And I was like, yeah, the guy from Are We There Yet? And she was like, you mean the guy from NWA? And I'm like, oh, shit.
Historical context. This was a history lesson. I mean, those NWA albums are super political. They talk about a lot of stuff, and people keep thinking the 90s was all bitches and hoes. No, there's a lot of message rap that had a lot of positive things. And Q, when we were recording him, he was doing the NWA biopic. He was
straight out Compton.
Yeah, and he was like, my son. Wait till you see my son. And I was like, what?
Identical. He's identical. Sounds like him, looks like it was uncanny.
It was incredible. But anyway.